everyone. Today I'm playing with, I got this fun little, I think I've shared this before, but it's a fun little ZenArt brush set, and the packaging's kind of fun for sure. I love this because if I travel, I can use this to cover my brushes, and the kit comes with a lot of different brushes, all kinds of rounds, special effect ones like this one here that they call a feather brush. That's kind of cool. Angles, shaders, mops, washes, rounds, lots of stuff. But the one I'm playing with today was not even a brush. It's this little palette knife that I thought, what can I do with this? So I'm going to play with that today. But I do love these brushes. The co-founder is a woman. She was an artist, so I really like that. All their products are vegan. Love that too. Not that anything's wrong with. I have a couple squirrel brushes that I've had forever. All the handles on their brushes are ergonomically designed. They're all birchwood, which is really kind of cool. And they've got a lot of very like micro brushes for details if you're into details. So anyway, what I'm going to focus on today is this fun little ZenArt palette knife. I thought that would be fun. I'm also using my Artisto pads. As you know, I love, especially when I'm practicing, because I can keep them all right together in here. I've got all kinds of fun things, and I label my books. I've got my 2 wells of water from MEEDEN. As you know, I love this set. It's nice and sturdy. It just makes me feel like I've got some quality. And this is the side I wash my brush in, and then I rinse it on the left. Love that palette. If you've ever spilled your water, you would love this. That can be a nightmare. And then today I've been using their large palette, which is really great if you have enough room on your desk. And for me with videoing, the large palette doesn't fit in as well. So I love this little one. I'm a mixer. I love playing and mixing colors, and this gives me some really big mixing areas, as you can see. Nice ceramic. Love, love, love the MEEDEN. As you could just hear, it's quality. And then, of course, my MeiLiang paints, which I'm using today. You know I love those. And I think I am going to use my 8 round just to get my paper wet. Actually, you know what? I think I will do, why not use the mop brush they give us in here? Let's see. Let's use this one. That's a nice one. Look how beautiful the handles are too. I love these. They're that birchwood handle. I'm all into aesthetics of things, so I love brushes that are pretty, well made, and at the same time reasonable. Okay, if you want, you beginners, I'm always recommending this set of Ducatos. Fantastic for the price. You get all these different rounds, and you could use, maybe they're 9. They've been great, held their tips, great price point if you're not quite ready to invest in some nicer brushes because you're just kind of playing around still. Okay, so I'm going to use this brush. And I found too, the ZenArt brushes, they're very soft. And when you have a soft brush, they're going to hold a lot of water. Now that's kind of something I have to get used to because I've used the Princetons, which are not quite as soft. The Neptunes are, but the Velvet Touch brushes are not quite as soft and don't hold quite as much water. So, every time I use these, they're beautiful brushes, but I have to just get a little bit used to how much water they can hold. All right, today I want to then play with my palette, play with this mop brush, and I'm going to try and use some of these beautiful MeiLiang fall colors that you've seen me been sharing the palettes with. So let's get started. I think this is going to be fun. I've already sprayed my paints. When you're using these pan paints, you want to spray them just to get them activated. That happens rather quickly. And then I've got my towel here, which maybe isn't even showing. Let's see if I can move everything down a bit. That I just am using to wipe my brush on. Okay. So I don't know if you can see yet, but boy, this brush just swells up immediately with a lot of water. Now, because I'm starting with a wet wash, that's perfectly okay. So we're just going to do a fun little flower. I'm going to get the area wet first. I didn't really draw it out. I'm kind of going organic and freeform here just to play. So I'm going to kind of do this bowl type look like that, just using swirling back and forth, not puddling or pulling my water necessarily, but definitely it's a nice damp surface. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Princeton 8 round, and let's just pick up, let's pick up these fall colors I've been so in love with. This one, I believe, even has a little bit of metallic in it. So I'm going to go in and just start tapping in. I'm really working with a lot of water here. Now remember, when you work with a lot of water, you've got to go a little bit quick. I'm going to pick up some of these other colors in my palette, like that. And as this is wet, I'm softening those edges. Let's go in for a little olive green here. Kind of that medium consistency. And kind of swirling around my brush and getting those type of things. Okay, this is where we're going to play with this palette knife. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of my paint and get it in my palette, and I'm going to use kind of a thicker mixture, a little bit anyway. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is grab my palette and I'm going to pick up some of that paint and start going in and just mixing it in here. Look how pretty that is, and it's very organic. I think I'm going to get a little bit more. There we go. That way it's easier to get on my palette. I might even do something. Let's see if that works better. There we go. Oops, kind of splattered on there. Ooh, yeah. Look how beautiful. This is exactly what I was hoping for. So I'm just spreading that around like that. I'm even scraping a little bit. Now I think I'm going to add in some of that metallic. So I'm going to wash and rinse my brush. And I apologize, I'm working a little bit quick here because when you're working wet and wet, you really kind of have to work quickly. Otherwise, you're going to lose that organic feel. And then maybe use my brush to go in here, something like that. Maybe we'll even add in a little bit of our orange with some of that brown. I'm really trying to go for those fun autumny type colors, which I love adding in browns with my flowers. I think it's so pretty. Ooh, yeah, look at that. I'm just kind of playing here. And because this is wet, I'm going to be able to get some really fun things happening. Now look at that. That's already gorgeous. Let's go in with a little bit more of that olive green. There we go. Maybe add some little swirlies. And there you go. Like, I think that's pretty much done. I might just go in and outline. Now notice too, when I'm holding my brush by the end, it really gives me some more movement in my brush. And it's going to give me those kind of swirly, free-flowing type of little designs and lines. Okay, now let's just see. We could really leave it there, but let's just play with this palette knife again. Ooh, yeah, see, look at that. Let me move my paints here and see what might happen. Now, I don't know, maybe I just ruined it, right? But this is how you really find some fun and interesting. So I don't know, you might have liked it better before, but I think that's quite pretty. So it definitely takes some working fast because you're working with this wet and wet type of technique, but I think it's really beautiful. And check out the ZenArt brushes. They're actually pretty cool, and I like that they give you the whole set. Like every brush you could probably need is in here. Even things like this with the palette knife. They also have this other kind of fun little thing in here that the only thing I've used it for, and pardon me, I can't remember what they call this. Maybe a shaper, but anyway, it has a rubber tip on it. And I've used it if I ever wanted to use some masking. It's been kind of handy. They call it a shaper, and you could actually use it as well in here to maybe do some little lines on leaves. But I've used it in the past for masking. All right, well, I hope you, if you have a palette knife, maybe play with it. I will link those ZenArt. I think they're a great product. They, like I said, they're vegan, and I really like that. I believe her name is Casanova. She was an artist, and she came up with this, and I always love that. And she really tried to put together a quality brush. So there you go. And if you travel or do plein air like I do, it's a really handy little case to keep your brushes in, which I absolutely love. All right, everybody, I hope you maybe give this a try. I think you could come up with a lot of really fun effects here, and even expand a little bit more than I did. And I think that's it. I will see you all soon tomorrow in our twice a month Zoom class. And happy painting, everybody.